Palendriai International Composers Course is a unique event, I think, in Europe, or might be in the whole world, where musicians, specifically accordionists and some other instrumentalists, come together with young composers and work for a week on new repertoire for accordion in chamber music context. Accordion is a very new instrument, relatively very new instrument, born in 1829, and so just because of this reason it doesn't have a lot of repertoire which is an original repertoire of this instrument. So we are aiming to expand this repertoire by experimenting on collaboration of composer and performer and experimenting on new sounds of accordion in chamber music context, especially with string instruments, and this year we had a course with woodwinds as well. The course takes place in a very spiritual place, Palendriai St. Benedict's Monastery, which was built in 2000, and it's very modern and unique in Lithuania.
I experienced a lot myself, and I saw many quite usual things from completely different perspectives here. For example, usual things in the musician's life as rehearsals, usual thing as sitting down writing music. I just think since we have here so different participants, different people as personalities, and also people coming from different cultural backgrounds, and also the quite complex structure of the whole project, which involves full creative work as well as preparation for professional performance and recording, as well as scheduled festival with concerts, and as well as just having 30 people working together and building the friendships. So I think in this whole complexity of the course, I could see how usual things can seem very refreshing suddenly.
Well, I think that it's vital for composers to work with performers, and my best experiences have been when I've written music for somebody who is known to me, who I can work with, whose personality I know, whose musical personality I know. There's nothing more exciting, but also invigorating. It gives you lots of energy to know who that person is, and to be able to talk to them in the process, not just to hand over a score at the last minute. I think on this course, the joy is that everyone is living very closely together and working very closely together, so it does mean that the collaborative idea.
I find it really inspirational, both in the manners of place we are working. I mean, it's really lovely surroundings, and both in interaction with accordion players that are given to us to collaborate with.
The whole course, because you discover a lot, you improvise, you find new ideas, you listen to the others. I mean, you can share with the composers, with the artists, other accordionists and string players, and adapt something for your instrument that you have never tried before. And so all the time during the practicing, I mean, you remember these things, and in the future I believe that I will use a lot of material for myself.
This has been my first time playing with an accordion as a solo instrument. Usually I'm from Scotland, so you hear accordion in a more folk tradition, in ceilidh bands with people dancing. So this is really, really a great experience to hear accordion out from its normal folk tradition and in a formal classical tradition, and it's really opened my ears and eyes to what the accordion can achieve, and it's really fantastic, and I really want to take this back to Scotland and really explore what possibilities can be achieved with this new combination.
I think for some people, of course, it will be a folk instrument, but I think now it's much more readily part of any composer's repertoire in terms of the instruments they might think of using. I think it's more conventionally now in orchestral, chamber, other situations. So really it is just another instrument that we all know in the classical world. It's a very exciting addition to that. And for me particularly, I'm a Scotsman, so it's exciting to have an instrument I grew up with as a folk instrument, very clearly working in the classical tradition, which is exactly my journey in life.
I think this International Composers Courses Palendriai 2015 is very useful for musicians, especially for accordionists like we from Lithuania, from other countries, to collaborate with young composers. I have never really had a chance to work with foreign composers, only with Lithuania, so it's a very good experience.
I think to collaborate with performance, it's very important for composers because we can find new ideas and new possibility to write from them what they, to speak with them how they hear the instrument, because sometimes we have a false mind to this instrument.
Accordion is really new instrument, and we haven't got so much pieces originally written on this instrument, and all these composers which is here writing something new, which is really important for us musician accordionists. I, for example, work with Matija. This is a Serbian composer. He's writing some new piece in kind of melancholic but really sensitive in other, which I never heard, and I'm really happy that I can be here and working with other composers.
It's been quite a journey. I can't say I've ever played much with accordions before or know what they can do. So it was interesting to see how each of the composers approach this and the extremely different results from each one, but really interesting.
It's been a very intense week. Lots of work, lots of amazing creative time with the composers, one-on-one and in ensembles. So the brain has been working pretty much overdrive, but it's been great and an amazing result this morning, I think. Amazing result. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Certainly the way that a lot of accordionists use the bellows when they're playing is something which I've definitely discovered on the piece in a new way. And some of these things that you don't really think about much when you don't have the player in front of you, and it's great to see them play and really demonstrate that quality of the instrument. It's very expressive. In terms of material, I've also generated a lot of music, which I think I can actually use in the future to make even more pieces.